Hello, my name is Kelly, and I am a library assistant in the Adult Services Department. Today we are going to learn how to make these little felted succulents. So what you'll need for the felted succulents is we've provided you with a little planter and all of your roving to make your little cactus. So we have also provided a little puff ball to kind of help get you started with the shape. And so you'll have a large content of roving. This is basically wool that hasn't been spun up yet. And it looks like not a whole lot, but it will be, because we're gonna really fluff this out and we're gonna make it really look quite large in the end. So you'll have your large quantity, which will be the main part of your succulent. You'll also get 2 contrasting colors and the second one. So provided pretty much the same amount for both contrast colors. Just depends on which one you want to use for your stripes and your little flower on top. So as I said before, your roving is going to be in a little packet, so it's going to be all kind of folded up. So what we want to do is we really want to get the maximum usage out of just this tiny little bit of roving. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of pull it apart in sections. So because if you took this, your little base, and wrapped it around, yeah, sure, that's going to give you your shape. It's not going to look very good. We're going to take our base, and if it's not in a good tight ball, we're going to kind of mush it around to get that tight ball look to it. Kind of takes a little finessing. Don't worry, I don't think there's a perfectly round cactus in nature. So we'll start with that. And one thing I want you guys to be really, really careful with is this is really sharp. Try to stay focused the whole time, and we're going to try our best. So how you pull roving apart is pretty simple. Basically just like fluffing. It sticks to itself really, really well. So if you think you pull it apart too far, you can kind of mush it back together. It's not a big deal. And we can even work in a smaller clump. So just kind of fluffing it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it around our base and just kind of pull it into a section. You can kind of overlap a little bit. It's not a big deal. And so from here, never, ever, ever stab into your legs, because what this will do is it goes right through. Ouch. Right into your leg. So try and find a surface, put some cardboard down. If you have a piece of foam core, that's even better. Just anything that's not going to get damaged, because your stab, for lack of a better way, say, our roving into our base. And as you can see, it's starting to kind of tack itself. And I can turn it around here, and you can see a little bit. It'll focus. So see how those little fibers are starting to stick themselves into our base? Yeah, so that's the act of pushing it in. So that's what those little barbs are doing. So kind of work it around and be really careful. Try to always have a nice wide grip on your ball and stab where your fingers aren't really going to get punctured. So just kind of work around, again, this initial, and this act will also kind of help settle your base too. So if you kind of worked it around in your hands, and like mine, it's a little lumpy still, pushing that needle into it will help guide it. And you're not going to want to work in just one spot continuously. Work your ball around, because if you work in one area, you're definitely, like, let me just do a little example here. You're going to get a little indentation. So your ball's going to have a little divot there. And that's not what we want, because we want to make this, you know, cactus a little somewhat round. We're aiming for that guy. So see how he's kind of round? That's what we're going to go for. So just really keep working back and forth on your ball. You by no means have to go at a certain speed. Going slowly like this is just as fine. Go at whatever speed you feel comfortable with. Again, this is really sharp, and poking yourself does not feel good. So even if I don't have any roving on this side, I'm going to work it in just a little bit. So see, I'm just kind of moving my ball around and around to kind of help create that ball shape. Now, even though I have some kind of larger clumps there, that's all right. We're going to cover that up. Okay, so I paused for just a minute there just to kind of speed it up a little bit, because you guys got the gist. So that is with just our one part. So now basically we're going to do that over and over and over again. And we're basically going to use up this whole amount of roving. So again, fluff out your roving. So see how that was a tiny piece. See how far I've gotten just a little bit of stretching here? So you're basically, you know, creating a nice spider web. That's a good way of putting it. A good spider web ball here, or veil rather. So let's cover our little ball here. And last time we went this way. So this time we're going to go this way. So we're going to kind of go in an opposite motion just to really get a good covering of our surface area. And you know that kind of bald spot that I had last time? I'm really going to try and focus on covering that this time. So I'm just going to kind of fold it over. So see how that just nicely covers it? I know I got some bald patches down there, but you know what? Those are going to get covered up. So again, let's just start with some light, slow motions just to get us started here. And again, keep working your ball in circular motions. So we're really just trying to get that kind of tacked down. And it's going to decrease in size. So I know this looks massive right now, definitely compared to this guy. They're quite a bit different in size. So you're essentially compressing those fibers down when you poke them with the needle. And that's what kind of creates that felting motion, that moving back and forth with a little friction. get those little stray hairs. And even so, if you get a little stray hair out, like that guy right there, you can kind of, even with your needle, just kind of stick it back in. Like I said, roving is very sticky. It loves to stick to itself. So again, just keep working around. All right. So our second layer is pretty evenly coated on there, and it's, as you can see, our ball is getting smaller. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that all over again. Again, take our roving a little bit apart. You know, that's even a lot right there. So, like I said, a little goes a long way. So, even just kind of fluff that section out. And where was our little bald patch there? So, let's go ahead and kind of layer on top of there because we're going to work that section a little bit more. And then again, just start tacking it in. It's pretty simple once you just kind of get the feel for it. Again, no rush on this. Just take your time. Go nice and slowly. And just kind of work that piece of roving in. Okay, so we have finished with all of the roving. So you can see it ended up to be about the same size as our green one here. So now we're going to add these lovely little stripes on the side. So as you can see, this, I got one kind of started here. As you can see how we're adding them. So you can kind of divide your little succulent out into 4 pieces, and then you can go further from there. So you can add another section across this way and another one this way. So we're going to take, I recommend the lighter of the 2 contrast colors, but feel free to do either one. So really we only need a very, very small amount because we're going to kind of make those light little stripes there. So pull your roving apart, and let's see. No, I'm even going to divide that in half because we really, really need just a thin, thin amount. So there we go. It's a nice thin amount. And to get that finer look to it, go ahead and twist your roving. And it's going to help kind of trap it, make it a little less fluffy. Go ahead and take your ball and just go ahead and fold it across. Fold it across like that. And so what we can do, tack it in there. Let's just go ahead and do a little quick little tamp down there and do it on the other end. And so like I said before, when you've got like all this extra little fluff there, you can kind of wrap it around your needle and stick it in. And then go ahead and flip your ball over to the top part and just kind of tack that in. So we've kind of created a top part and a bottom part, or this can be your top, doesn't matter. And what you're going to want to do is just go along the side and kind of work that stripe into your succulent. Because what we're doing is essentially we're kind of creating this little ridge, as you can see on our finished one here. Kind of see they have a little bit of a bump, a little bit of a ridge there. Go ahead and just keep tacking that in. Go around. You don't need to work it too much because really we did a twist to it. So, and I don't know on the camera you can see, you can kind of see it a little bit. We've got a little ridge forming there. So we'll do that again. We'll take our roving, kind of split it up here, give it a nice twist. And if it kind of curls around, it becomes a little cumbersome. Don't worry too much. Go ahead and divide your ball again. And tack that roving in. And then we'll flip it around to the top. And right in the center there, just go ahead and kind of tack that in. And we'll go up to the sides here. Right. So, as you can see, we've gotten about as far as we've gone on this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide those half sections and divide it again. Take our roving here again. Give it a good twist. And split that section again. And even if it doesn't quite reach the center, not a big deal. And one last time. All right, so we've got that one completed. That looks like a pumpkin now. So if you don't want to do the stripes, you can always do little circles. Let me show you how to do that. So you're going to take your roving. You're just going to take a little clump like that and just kind of work it in your fingers. work it around and around. And take it like a little tiny ball. And go ahead and just plop that on your succulent and just kind of work that little ball in. You can even go half that size. And just kind of work them in. So you can do stripes and little tiny dots as well. Make it how you want. So now we're going to do the top part. We're going to do this flower here on top. Probably the easiest part of this whole little succulent. So you're going to take your other contrast color and just kind of pull off a part and really just stick it on top and just start working it in. And it doesn't have to be super finished. You can leave little spirals out if you want. You can make it bigger like that flower, or you can even have it small like this. All right, so in the end, you'll have a beautiful little succulent, and you can use it for pins, or you can just display them in your bedroom, your window, your nightstand. They look cute wherever. And as always, we will start having some new tutorials every couple weeks. We have new adult craft kits every couple weeks as well. And don't forget to take pictures, share them on our social media page, hashtag NotJustBooks on Instagram and on our Facebook page. We'd love to see it. Or you can email us at ask@TADL.org. Send us a clip of your picture. We'd love to see it, and I will see you guys next time.